The high school class of 1980. This is the class of 2000, and this is the class of 2020. Notice anything different between these two images? Look at the men. Now look at the picture from the class of 2020. You don't see men, do you? Those are boys, aren't they? Now, yes, our culture has changed, and different fashion trends and fitness levels drive today's high school experience than they did in 1980. However, the fact remains that men are becoming less of, well, men. Not only in their behavior and in their dress, but also in their biological makeup. Since 1950, the testosterone level in men have been dropping up to 1% a year. If that does not scare you, it should. Testosterone is a critical hormone for men to have, in abundance really. A man with low testosterone will be docile in comparison to a man with a healthy level. They will have a much worse memory, much slower spatial reasoning, a remarkably lower sex drive, and of course, will have smaller muscle mass. And women, this hormone is important to you ladies as well, as it can help you with fat loss and mental function. Having low levels of testosterone can also make it extremely easier for a man to become obese, depressed, and even suicidal. Men today are biologically only 80% of the men they could have been in 1980. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be 8/10 of a man. Men now are weaker, slower, and less intelligent. We are, simply put, not the men our fathers are. So that's really bad, especially at that rate and affecting billions of men. But we're not screwed yet. The first step to reversing this is to figure out what's causing such a rapid decrease in testosterone. It's your diet. The food you eat today in the modern world is often processed, prepackaged, and generally unhealthy.
There's a perfect correlation that as you improve health, within a half generation, the population growth rate goes down.
The population growth rate goes down. The population growth rate goes down.
Or do not want to conceive a child. And they should be able to use one of these birth control methods to act on their decision.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rucha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you brethren, you fellow believers of the faith, you other elders and brethren, and shalom to the elect. So I'm going to switch a little bit on this video to try to make it informative but edifying as well. The scripture says in 2 Corinthians 2:11 that Satan should get an advantage. We are not ignorant of his devices. Now, and I want to go into this AG 21 agenda, right? Which was the elder brother GMS Vegas sit downs posted a clip on that, and I was already going to do the video like this, but when that came up, I said, okay, I'll bring it all together. It's the spirit. We work together in one body. So I want to talk about testosterone and how if you ever went to get labs or get something done, I'm talking about in the time if your health is poor, right, they would never ask you I remember years ago, they would never ask to check testosterone. You would have to ask that. But I remember one Indian doctor, this is many years back, she said, well, let me check your testosterone. And in my mind, I've heard of it, but I didn't know that that's I know now it's a hormone that can be checked. Even if you're a sister who has estrogen form of testosterone, I'll just say a chemical balance, yours is a whole lot lower and your estrogen is a whole lot higher, and men is a whole lot higher. So a man should be 300 to 1,000 nanograms or nanodeciliters or something like that. At least 300 to 1,000, as they say, and a woman from 5 to 50. But it seems as this, with this agenda, this is where I want to go into, which is nothing new. Of course, I'm going to back it up with scripture, which is nothing new. But we can clearly see now why the tight pants, right? The attire, the spandies, and everything else, right? Because in a man, your testicles is what creates sperm, right? if you don't know that. And when that's compromised, right, then you will not, your production will be very low, right? So you have things like fluoride when you brush your teeth is a lot of that is immunosuppressant as well, but a lot of that is also involved with fluoride, the toothpaste you use, some deodorants and various other, the plastic bottles, the PPA, the BPA, bisphenol A, you know, and various other things that from the water, from your body, your plastic gets into the system. So we're under a biological attack when it comes to our health. And I speak like that to men, men that's in the truth, because that strength of testosterone is what makes up your manhood, and you're going to need that in these last days. You damn sure going to need that, because it's designed to change your whole momentum, your whole spirit, right? So you can Google, I'm not going to make this a health lesson, but you can Google all the things that can help prevent testosterone levels decreasing, especially as you get older. But, I looked at this stuff called Tonkat Ali, and it's just something you can take even if you have good levels to keep your testosterone at a pretty good level. Now, I'm not saying to just run out and take things without knowing certain things. They even got certain kits that you can take to check your testosterone. I'm just saying, if you're sluggish and you don't feel well, first of all, you should be working out. Working out is the main thing that boosts testosterone. Diet, working out, it's not going to work unless you're doing some form of activity. What happens is, as even with bodybuilders, they shoot themselves with high levels of, different kind of testosterones, androgen testosterones or whatever, and then their testicles stop producing it because their body is already, giving themselves full amounts. So when your body is not productive, then you're not going to be able to produce it. This stuff is said to have is a performance, muscle mass, different things, and you can look this up and the ingredients for this stuff. So it's got, you can take it with ashwagandha or whatever as well. I mean, there's various other things. Also with your diet, certain things, make sure you get vitamin D, high potency, because most of us are vitamin D deficient, right? But, I just wanted to say that because when you look at how your body operates, for men, when it's warm, you have and I don't want to be, I'm just being biologically correct. Let me say that. If you what you call testicles, they will drop when you're warmer. When it's cold, they come up because of the mechanism of the way our bodies work. So when it's 100 degrees and you're wearing tights, when you're wearing skinny jeans and it's cramming your stuff up there, what do you think is happening to your testosterone, right? It seems that this whole plan through music, through rap, the shootings, the killings, the Planned Hood, I mean, it might seem like a serious conspiracy, but when you really put it together and you look back at the history and you see what's happening, you can see the gender wars and everything else that's happening. What is this all about? This all goes to the AG21, right? That's what I wanted to talk about more than testosterone. But I just say that, and I found this clip with this guy here who went into that because I wanted to put an intro to show, what I'm actually saying. And this is why you see the emotional jakes. They're out of control. the poor diets, the poor food. It has an adverse effect on your personality, right? Your mindset, along with the music that's being pumped in your head. You know, this is not only is it psychological, it's biological, right? Eve and the Spandies, all of them wear them. What do you think happened if she laid with a man the night before and she wearing them Spandies in 100 degrees? What do you think is going to happen to the ovaries, the eggs, and everything else? There's a lot I can't say in the video, obviously. But I want to touch on it. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus 1. Right? Exodus 1 and 8. It says, now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Right? I think it was King Ramses II. Pharaoh II. And he said unto the people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Right? Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them. How's it not any different? Because now Eve has become the taskmaster to afflict Jake. We could see this. And now not only they set up taskmasters, they're the ones working with vigor, hard bondage, hard labor. So now they don't have time, right? They don't have time to settle down. They don't have time for families. And if you should slip up, we got plan B's and C's and D's, right? We got you covered. It said to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasures of cities in Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. So this is what Gates was talking about. We understand under pressure, these people, right? They multiply. So let's take the pressure away. Let them have a more organized home, right? Let them get healthier. And notice this is all really targeting Eve, helping Eve get a better life. That's why everything is breast cancer awareness and women's health, and all commercials about even their digestive tracts is all being lifted up, right? To help them be able to say, no, I got other options. I got mechanical devices if I need so. Anything. And see, they push this through the music. They push this through television, right? They push this through media, TikTok, schools, education. So we're being targeted on many levels. And it's really to come after you Jakes, you men, because you're the ones that's carrying the seeds. And so now you have Jake that's opting out of, I'm not laying down with these Eves. These Eves are crazy, which you can't blame them. But then men are getting on planes and leaving. But somehow Eve is funded to blame the men, but yet they're trying to leave and do the same damn thing. And the Most High, at the end of the day, is going to make a joke out of all of this, man. Anyway. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Right? So they understand who we really are. There's no doubt about it. And some of them people in India, they Israelites too. You got certain sections of where the Israelites are more poor, or they're staying in, particular locations. The Filipinos too, and parts of Africa as well. They know we multiply, and they know that we're scattered, right? And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with vigor. And that's what's happening, right? And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage. Does this not sound like reincarnation? in mortar and in brick and in all manner of services, building up their society, where Jake and their families, there is no family. They understood this. They know that the scripture says, Revelation 12:12, he know if he have but a short time. But there's going to come a time where there's going to be a certain amount of women who are going to wake up out of that, as the men are, starting with the elect, and there's going to be women that's going to see what's being done. See, they can't see that, wait a minute, I'm making more money than him, I'm in six figures, he the one build the building that I'm sitting in, right, and making this kind of money. So they're going to see the trickery that they're only using them as taskmasters to destroy Jake, right? And it says, and all the service wherein they made these, they served was with vigor, to stop the children of Israel from procreating. And that was all the key. And this is why they're using the overpopulist thing, right? When the whole world, studies are showing the whole world or the whole population can fit in certain sections. But this is where, this is what they do, and they educate us and they teach us that, and this is what our people believe, right? The scripture says to cast down imaginations of all these idolistic lies and worship, right? So I don't have much more than that. My whole point is to take your testosterone away is, in a sense, taking your manhood away. And you don't want that, okay? And a lot of Jake, you notice, if you ever went to the doctor, right, and if they ever drew your labs, they'll test for every damn thing, right? But that hormone that makes who you are, and the woman too, they don't check for that. I wonder why. But they say we speak of hatred. You go to school, and guess what? You go to sexual education, right? No mention of anything like that, especially for men. Right? So we can see the attack. We can see the attack and the AG 21. Well, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. That's all I have on that. Shalom.